All right, everybody, thanks for checking out day 9 of Jesus Revealed. Here we are, day 9 of Jesus Revealed. Again, the YouTube page is Jesus Revealed. Please share it, repost, hashtag Jesus Revealed, one word or two separate words. Again, the YouTube page, Jesus Revealed. Follow me on Facebook at Sean George or on Periscope at Jesus_Revealed. Amen. So we're going to get right into the word tonight. Our prophecy tonight is coming from the book of Isaiah. Once again, here we are in Isaiah, the 41st chapter. And we're only going to read verse 4, but we're going to deal with the first 4 verses, but we're only going to read the first 4. So Isaiah 41:4 reads, "Who hath wrought and done it, calling the generations from the beginning? I, the Lord, the first and with the last. I am he." So, verse 4, he starts off with a question. Who hath wrought and done it, calling the generations from the beginning? And he answers it, I, the Lord, the first and with the last. I am he. So to understand verse 4, though, you got to understand what took place in the first 3 verses. Now, God was speaking and he was giving them a quick rundown. He was stating, he was showing them all that he done. Remember, it was me that called Abraham. It was me. He was comforting Israel. He was raising up Cyrus. Cyrus is now getting ready to be Israel's comforter. He was raising up him to be their deliverer, but he's also showing them, did you not forget all that I have done for you? Did you not forget it was I that called Abraham and all the generations? So he gave them the rundown, and verse 4 says, who hath wrought and done it? Now see, that word wrought is very profound when you look it up. It simply means to perform. So here's God saying, who hath performed and done it. But it's more than just performed. It is also means to weave, or something that's woven together. So God is saying it was I that intertwined everything. It was me that weaved and put all the pieces together. Not only did I put all the pieces together, not only did I performed it, but I also done it. Can I help somebody tonight that not only did God do it, but here he's telling us that it is already done. He said, not only did I perform it, but I also did it. It's already done. He says, who had wrought and done it? See, there's so many times in life where some people start something, but it's another person that finishes it. Oh, God have mercy. But thanks be to God. Jesus says, not only did I start it, but I finished it. Not going to finish it, but it's already finished it. See, we just have to have the faith to believe that what God started, it is already complete. We just have to walk it out. See, God says that all things work for the good. So we have to realize that while we are going through it, that whatever is going on, it's working for the good. But we have to have the mindset. Again, here we go with the mind thing. We have to have the mindset that if God said it and he's performing it, it's already finished. We just have to walk in faith. We have to have a faith walk. So he says, not only did I perform it and done it. And again, there's so many times that other people start things, but it is someone else who finishes it. A perfect example is in baseball. In baseball, you have a pitcher. A pitcher is a position, but there are several different roles of a pitcher. You have a starter, you have a relief pitcher, and then you have the closer. So it's one person that might start the game. It's another person that might come in the middle of the game. And then there's a whole nother pitcher who might close it out. But God here is saying, not only did I start it, not only did I perform it, but I'm also the one that's going to finish it. Here we go with 3 separate things. Again, we know that the number 3 represents what? Power. So God is so powerful. Not only does he start it, not only did he perform it, but he also finished it. That's so refreshing when we realize that if he's the one that performs it, and if he performed it, that we have to realize that he's also going to finish it. Oh, God have mercy. He said, who hath wrought and done it? He's saying, it's a question. If you think about it, God's saying, did you not forget all that I've done? It was me that did this. It was me that called Abraham. It was me who brought forth all the generations. It was me that did this. Not only did I perform it, but I done it. I didn't just speak it, but I also performed. It was me that did it. He said, I, the Lord, the first and with the last. I am he. Again, he's not just the one that started it. and someone else is going to finish it. He's saying it was me. I was with the first and I'm with the last. And so everything in the middle. See, sometimes we get caught up in the middle, which is the process. We got to realize that if God started it and he already finished it, that middle part, which is the process, when we realize that if he started it and he finished it, he's the first and the last, that even though I'm in the process of getting there, he's also in that. He's performing it. So God is always with us in the process, no matter how tough, no matter how things might look in the process. He's saying, I am the first and with the last. So everything in between that, God is all through that. He is the first and the last, not just the first and the last, but he is everything from the first all the way to the last. So he was there in the beginning when he called us, and he's going to be there at the end when he finishes the good work that's in us, and the whole process in between. He's there in all of that. You see, he's uncontainable. He can't be contained. He's not just the first and he's not just the last, but he was with the first and with the last. You can't just contain him in one part of the thing. He's all of that. It says, I am he. So he gives them a quick rundown in verse 3 of all he's done, and then he kind of checks them. He's saying, have you forgot it was me that performed the work? It was me that took the time to put everything together. Not only did I put everything together, not only did I perform the work, but I done it. Calling the generations from the beginning. See, when God speaks, he just doesn't speak to the present. When God speaks, he speaks futuristically. He speaks generational. When God spoke to Abraham, he spoke to the generations to come. He's saying here, calling the generations from the beginning. So from the beginning, he didn't just speak of one generation or the seed, but he spoke to the generations to come. See, when God is speaking to us, it's not just to us, but he is speaking to the generations that shall come from us. That's why the Bible says there is a nation. There is nations in us. Why? Because God knows all the things that shall come forth from us, from our seed, from our seed. So he's saying, it was I that called the generations from the beginning. See, he spoke things in the beginning for what's to come, because he's the first and the last. And if he already did it, see, he spoke the finished product at the beginning. See, when God spoke to us in the beginning, he was already speaking from the viewpoint of it already being done. If we can realize that when God spoke it, it's already done. We just have to deal with the process in the middle. Calling the generations from the beginning, I the Lord, the first and with the last, I am he. Oh, that is so magnificent. And he's showing them, see, at the time, people would raise up great people, and people can take credit for something that they did. So here he's saying, it was I that raised up Abraham. It was I that's raising up Cyrus. No one can take credit for any of this. It was I that did it. I did it since the beginning and up to now, and even in the future of what's to come. I am the one that's doing all the work. I am the one that did all the work. No one can take credit for what God has done. See, it's God that should get all the glory and the honor. No one else. It's him that is performing a great work in us. It was him that spoke to our beginning, that he spoke in the first parts of our lives about what shall come. So he was speaking from the end in our beginning. God have mercy. So he's saying, no man can take credit for this. So not only did he do it, but he formed the plan. And after he formed the plan, then he brought it to pass. He wrought and done it. See, some of us can come up with a plan. Some of us can come up with a vision. And then it's other people that do it. It's other people that get it done. But God is so magnificent and God is so uncontainable that not only does he come up with the plan, not only does he come up with the vision, but he performs the work. He is the author and the finisher. He is the beginning and the end. He was the first and the last. And coming up in the fulfillment of this prophecy, we'll see in the New Testament that he is the Alpha and the Omega. God have mercy. He is the Alpha and the Omega. And now that brings us right up to our fulfillment of the Old Testament prophecy, which was in Isaiah, the 41st chapter, verse 4. And here we see in the book of Revelation, the first chapter. We're going to deal with 3 verses here. Revelation 1. We're going to read verse 11 first. Now, verse 11 is very intriguing because a lot of the older manuscripts do not have this as verse 11. But in the King James Version and other versions, you'll see Revelation 1, verse 11 reads, saying, I am Alpha and Omega, the first and the last. And who that seest, write in a book and send it unto the 7 churches which are in Asia, unto Ephesus, and unto Smyrna, and unto Pergamos, and unto Thyatira, and unto Sardis, and unto Philadelphia, and unto Laodicea. But all I want to focus on is the beginning part, saying, I am Alpha and Omega, the first and the last. Now we see, here is this is actually Jesus speaking to St. John. He came in a vision to St. John, and he said to him, saying, I am Alpha and Omega, the first and the last. And that is the fulfillment of what we just read in Isaiah 41:4, when he said, I was with the first and with the last. And so here, and that was God speaking in the Old Testament. Now we have Jesus speaking to St. John here, and he says, I am Alpha and Omega, the first and the last. So this is Jesus saying, I was there in the beginning. I was the first and I am the last. I was that which came and that which is to come. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the first and the last. And that is so profound because the Alpha and Omega is the first and the last letters in the Greek alphabet. So, and when the New Testament was translated in the Greek, when you see, when Jesus speaks, it's not just him saying something, but it lines up. When you hear people say it lines up line by line and precept by precept, it's 100% true. Because in the Greek, how the text was translated, in the Greek, Alpha and Omega are the first and the last of the alphabet. So God speaking, I am Alpha and Omega. He is speaking to them from a standpoint of it all makes sense. There's nothing to be figured. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the first and the last. And again, not only is he the first, not only is he the last, but he's everything that's in between of that. And it's so amazing that when you see that it lines up again with the Greek alphabet, again, Alpha being the first letter. And hold on, I'm trying to find my notes here about verse 11. Again, that it was left out, but he states this to point out, to express his dignity, his deity, and eternity, to stress the fact of who he is, who Jesus is as a being. His dignity, meaning he is dignified and we should honor him. He is the Alpha. He is the beginning. He is the end. He is all of that. He is there since the beginning and he is there in the end. He was spoken in the first and he's there that is with the last. So again, the Old Testament prophecy was Isaiah 41:4. And then we see the fulfillment here in Revelation 1:11. And then if you jump down to verses 17 and 18, 17 reads, And when I saw him, I fell at his feet as dead. And he laid his right hand upon me, the right hand being the hand of authority. He laid his right hand upon me, saying unto me, Fear not. I am the first and the last. I am he that liveth and was dead, and behold, I am alive forevermore. Amen. So here again, we see the prophecy in Isaiah 41:4 being fulfilled in Revelation 1:11, and also in verses 17 and 18. Jesus says, "Fear not." Those are his first words, and there's a semicolon there which indicates fear not is a statement. And then everything after that shows us why we should not fear. He says, "Fear not." Why should we not fear? He says, "Fear not. I am the first and the last." So notice when Jesus speaks of the words of the prophets that were before him in the Old Testament, it's to confirm. See, for the Jewish people at that time, everything had to line up with the law. So when Jesus spoke, he spoke things that would eliminate any excuse or any reason for doubt. He spoke of the words of the prophets from the Old Testament. I am the first and the last. Here we remember what God said in Isaiah 41. I am with the first and with the last. And Jesus is saying, I am the first and the last. I am he that liveth and was dead, and behold, I am alive forevermore. Here we see the fulfillment of the death, the burial, and the resurrection. He liveth and was dead. They crucified him, and behold, I am alive. But not just alive, but he is alive forevermore, meaning he is the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end, the first and the last. He is forevermore. Again, he cannot be contained. He is uncontainable. So here's Jesus confirming that everything that was spoken, in case up to now there was any sense of a doubt, here he came again and was speaking to John in the book of Revelation, the first chapter. And he says, first he says, I am the Alpha and the Omega, the first and the last. And then he confirms it again. He says, fear not. Remove fear. There's no reason to fear. Why? I am the first and the last. I am he. He is everything that was spoken previously. He is everything that the prophets came and talked about. He is everything that the law talked about. Not only in case they had any doubt of his life, and when he was crucified, here he is again revealing who he was, revealing his true being of who Jesus Christ was. He says, I am he that liveth and was dead, and behold, I am alive evermore. Oh, that is so refreshing to hear those words spoken thousands of years ago, that he is alive forevermore. Again, he's the first and the last. So when God speaks, he just doesn't speak to where we are. He said, I call the generations. So when God speaks, he speaks to our future. He speaks to that which is to come. He might be speaking in our first, but he's speaking from the perspective of the last. He might be speaking to our beginning, but he's speaking from the perspective of it's already finished. See, our mindset, we can't fathom the way God thinks and the way God moves. He is the author and the finisher. He's the Alpha and the Omega. He is all that cannot be contained. However, if we can realize that when he's speaking to us, he's speaking from a finished product state of mind. See, he is the potter and we were the clay. See, he's speaking from a finished product. He already knows our shall be. He knows the place of victory that we are in. He knows our finished being. So when he's speaking from seeing the finished product. That is so refreshing if we could adapt that mindset that it's already done. He said it's already finished. Not only did I perform it, but I done it, which means I finished it. I completed it. See, the enemy plays mind tricks with us to have us think that we are broken, that we're not healed. We'll never walk in victory. Nothing is finished in our lives. But we have to realize the word says that not only did he perform it, but he done it, which means it's already done. So when we adapt that mindset that no matter what it looks like, no matter even if I feel broken, no matter if I am sick, no matter if things aren't going great, we have to know that despite of what we see with the natural eye, that in the spiritual realm, God said it's already done. It is already finished. Why? I am the Alpha. I am the Omega. I was with the first and I am with the last. That's so refreshing. I hope this blessed somebody tonight. Again, please repost, reshare. Jesus Revealed. We're on the YouTube page, Jesus Revealed. Periscope is Jesus_revealed. The Facebook page is simply my name, Sean George. Again, I encourage everybody, please, to, if this helps you in any way, if it blesses you in any way, repost, reshare. You can leave comments under the videos on YouTube. If you have any questions, anything you want to ask or share about any of the broadcasts, please, you can inbox me again on Facebook, Sean George, or on YouTube at Jesus Revealed. Thank y'all. God bless y'all.